So an idea, how much of the economy are we missing? Because obviously everything else seems to bounce back. Am I right in saying?
Yeah, well, if you look at unemployment, before COVID we were about 400. We went up to about 1,400. We're down to under 1,000.
It's 950,
945. The MIRA scheme ends at the end of the month, but anyone who's on that, really, if they are needing money and don't have a job, they're better off on the unemployment benefits anyway. So when that closes, I'm not expecting our unemployment rate to go up too much, because anyone who was sort of long-term unemployment will have moved on to our unemployment benefit schemes. MIRA was a fraction.
So this should be the worst. You think it's going to be settled?
Well, we might say the odd 100 extra on top,
right.
But that puts us at about 2% unemployment, and we were budgeting for it to be an awful lot worse, Paul. I think because we opened up as quickly as we did. You have to remember we're the first in the British Isles to lift restrictions.
So in Coman, it must be the battle between Alf Cannon and co. You know, the guys in Treasury who really are pushing to get everything back, and you've got the more cautious lot. Would that be a fair assumption?
No, because I think Alf realises that if you open up too quickly and then as a result you get a major second spike in the community on the Isle of Man, you're going to have to shut down some sectors again, and the cost of doing that would be horrendous.
Are you united though? I mean, I've got. I hear things obviously that there's a bit of a discussion going on inside.
There's always discussions.
Yeah, but quite vocal now.
So if you listen to the emails I get, there's probably 70% of the population want the island shut. Yeah. They don't want any movement whatsoever. We've got to say, yes, we take on board your concerns. However, we've got to allow our economy to get back on track, or we'll have no income coming in. So we try and reduce the risk as much as possible. So we've been more cautious than Guernsey maybe on how they've handled it, but at the end of the day we were the quickest place in the British Isles to open up as a result of the measures we'd put in place. So our internal economy has picked up significantly well.
But when you see Jersey, it's quite incredible, isn't it, how they've gone completely with the UK and they've opened up everything, haven't they?
And they've got active cases in the community. That's something.
The testing is huge, isn't it? The testing?
Well, the testing, and there's a significant cost to the tax, because everything is costing. We've probably spent £60 million on this. We'd budgeted for more. We've put £100 million aside to help get the economy back on track. It's probably going to take a couple of years to get back to where we were, but that's if we've saved lives. You know, if you analyse, we had a tragic loss of lives, but really only 4 in the community. Out of the 26, I think 22 from one area, which was tragic. And therefore, the money we've spent, I think, saving lives and enabling the economy to get back on track has got to be well spent.
Positive side of this, it seems like the Isle of Man is becoming attractive to people to move to. Is that bearing out? And eGaming as well is really you're getting. They've
got more businesses and the licenses in the pipeline than we've ever had. The insurance sector has been doing very well too. The business side of things.
People need to work in it, therefore they need housing, they need schooling, they need all that sort of thing. It comes with it, right?
It's a tough one. Obviously, we're trying to grow the economy. We've been selling the Isle of Man as a safe place to do business. We've been selling the Isle of Man as a beautiful place to do business and come and live. And the publicity we got when we opened the island, the first in the British Isles to open up and lift restrictions internally, gave us worldwide coverage, and as a result of that sort of coverage, people have been looking at the island.
So that's a positive, isn't it?
It's a positive.
People want to come to live here, although the house prices now will be going up again. But that's a catch-22 with some people wanting them up, and obviously new people can't get up the ladder.
I think my own daughter is buying a house at the moment, and most of property prices up to 400,000 or 500,000, 80+%. It's all local people. There's not the vast numbers. I had an email from a young couple complaining that there was large numbers of people coming over to the island buying up houses. That's not the case.
Right.
But we are seeing activity in some of our more expensive properties with active entrepreneurs buying, which has got to be a good thing. Okay,
that's my price range probably. Just you can say that. Just to finish off, what would you say to the nation now? You know, how are we doing? Should we all feel relaxed? Should we still be holding our breath?
Well, we shouldn't relax. I think we as a nation have done fantastically well, and that's government, the third sector, the private sector, the general public, all working together respecting the rules that we've had to bring in to help get the island through the first phase of this. We're going to be living with COVID-19 or COVID-21, some sort of virus like this for a while now, but we've gone through the unknown element. We know what to expect now, and if the people of the island perform again, if we get a second spike on the island, then we will do well. So we can't let our guard down.
Because we're getting so used to just walking around shopping and mingling and doing all that sort of thing. It's almost become quite normal, hasn't it? Well, it is normal. It's the old normal.
It is, but I just really can't labour enough the importance of, if you do leave the island and you come back, you respect the quarantine, because that will keep people safe. You may feel fine. You may be a young person who has no symptoms whatsoever, but a vulnerable person catching it can be tragic, and I'm sure you wouldn't want that on your conscience. So please respect the quarantine, and if we all respect the quarantine, then the island will do well out of this. But we cannot let our guard down. We can't become too complacent.